Good morning and welcome to the VSA Morning Mine. It's Friday, the 7th of November. I'm joined by Paul Rankin. Paul, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Yep, all good here. Thanks. Right, we've got a few things to talk about. Let's start with, well, there's a small bit of news out of Tungsten West.
Yes, that's right. They had made just a little brief statement that said that they had run some concentrate production trials at the Hemerden plant there near Plymouth here in the UK to produce tungsten concentrate, and that it was successful. And that's pretty much about it of what they said. And they also posted a picture of the staff. But we do know outside that announcement that they are trying to refinance this project in order to bring it back into production. And the EU would very much like to see that too, because the project itself is on their critical minerals list to enable it to become a producer into the European market. So it's good news, but by the same token, doesn't say much.
Uh, yeah, I think everyone does want to see processing success and that the redesign has worked. Obviously, not all the equipment is yet in place to test the circuit properly on the newly designed terms, but I don't think there's ever been any question that you can produce concentrate at Hemerden. It's can you produce it to the right specifications? And from today's announcement, we don't yet know that's the case. So encouraging that they are starting test work to prove the potential, but from today's announcement, not enough information. Yesterday, after the market opened, or late morning, Asiamet announced that they are selling their KSK project for 105 million USD.
Yes, that's right. Asiamet, this KSK project, it has been the primary project of the company for well over a decade now. KSK being a solvent extraction electrowinning near surface copper deposit for which they've been trying to they completed found from grassroots exploration all the way through to completed feasibilities. They had a failed sale of the project a couple or several years ago, and it has still lain fallow in the portfolio. But with these current copper prices, somebody finally would want to go ahead and complete on this. Company's name, picking it up, is called Norin Mining, which is Hong Kong quoted, and a experienced copper producer. The cash consideration, $105 million US, and that's more or less recovers all the costs incurred since the deposit was explored for, discovered, and put through feasibility and so forth. Long-standing part of its private equity shareholder portfolio as well, or of its private equity shareholder. So they'll be glad to see it moved on. And there, it will be a shareholder meeting held in January 26th to get approval, because under the AIM rules, it is a change of major focus of the business. So that's the purpose. And the board has unanimously approved the sale.
Yep, indeed. Uh, well, with silver and uranium being added to the USG critical minerals list, we've got Q3 results out from Avino, who Andrew obviously went to visit earlier this year.
That's right. Revenues on the third quarter, $21 million US, which is 44% higher. Uh, Due to increased metal prices and marginally higher ounces sold. Record net income after tax at 7.7 million, or 5 cents a share, for an increase of over 550%. Free cash flow generation was 5.4 million, excluding the La Preciosa capital costs, but including those, it would be free cash flow of 4.5 million. That La Preciosa mine is in uh, ramp up a production stage at this point in time. Cost per ounce, cash cost $17.09 per silver equivalent, all in sustaining costs at $24.06 for improvements of 14%, or excuse me, increases of 14% and 9% respectively. And for guidance, they have put out that those costs should be around 1588 and 2236 for the third quarter of this year. So they'll be they'll be, excuse me, they'll be lower in the third quarter than they have been in this current or past quarter. So it's good news there, and we'll continue to watch how well La Preciosa ramps up its production rate, because it does mean a really significant change in the cash flows for the company.
The stock price is up to about 270% year to date. It has pulled back quite a lot from the peak in early October. $6 a share now, $4.14. Even though gold and silver prices are only off about $400 and $6 an ounce respectively from their highs. So expect to see an outweighted continued earnings improvement in the coming period, as certainly that reduction from 6 to 4 in the share price is far more significant than the pullback we've seen in precious metals prices.
Yes, that's right.
I think we'll call it a day there, Paul, unless there's anything else.
That's most of the material for this week.
All right, very good. Thank you, and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.